I mean, it's really kind of like a storybook feeling because, when it's snowing here and you're looking out the windows and you're in a log cabin, I mean, that's something you'd think about as you're a young kid, really. It's just, being up here in central Wisconsin and the house built exactly the way you wanted it. It's just a good feeling. You're just relaxing all the time. Any room that you go in, you can just relax because it's really cozy. I mean, that's the best part about it.
It's cozy, we've touched it all. It's what we wanted. And like he said, just being here, I mean, my stress level just goes down being here. When we first walked into Golden Eagle, we were just blown away by the showroom. I'm a very visual person, so for me to be able to see everything and see what we could pick and choose from and the different floor plans and then the nice thing too is that we were told we could customize anything we wanted to, we could change anything, but that touching and feeling really made a difference for me, especially.
And if you go out to the other competitors, you'll see right away that there's a huge difference. And you'll know your heart will direct you in the right area. It really will, because you're just like, you feel so comfortable that they're so 100%. It's family owned. They've been around forever. And we read all the reviews from everybody. We talked to people that built houses with Golden Eagle, and there wasn't a bad word or bad thing that anybody said. So we know we made the right decision. Pretty much everybody that comes over here, it's tough to get them to leave because
Yeah.
they like it.
They're in complete awe.
Actually, she's got a family member that's already met with the sales guy for Golden Eagle. They liked it so much.